We've got you covered. This is 19 News at 10.
Tonight at 10, a bipartisan push, how a Wisconsin senator is working to keep things made in America. Plus, after a major closure in Chippewa Falls, a new hospital hopes to fill the void. Good evening, I'm Heather Armstrong. Governor Evers hosted one of his listening sessions earlier this evening at Northside Elementary in La Crosse. People who were there got to break out into groups that were divided into topics like the economy, building safe communities, and healthcare access. Governor Evers then took the time to hear what people were discussing in each of those groups. And he told 19 News one of the biggest things he heard was about food.
You do hear a lot, and we had one listening session this week too, issues around food and food security. That was not an eye-opener, but it was something that we really have to pay attention to in the budget.
The governor says he's expecting to have the budget proposed by early February, and he says he'll be holding more listening sessions in the upcoming weeks, but those dates are yet to be announced. Before stopping at Northside, Governor Evers made a stop in downtown La Crosse to visit some local businesses. He was joined by the Wisconsin Economic Development Corporation Secretary, Missy Hughes, and then they stopped at multiple small businesses on the way. They all say it's an effort to encourage people to support those local businesses and shop small, especially during the holidays. Senator Tammy Baldwin is making a push to ensure what she calls taxpayer-funded inventions. She says she's hoping to get these inventions to stay in the U.S. Now, Baldwin is crossing the aisle, so to speak, teaming up with Vice President-elect J.D. Vance to co-sponsor the Invent Here, Make Here Act. The goal is to protect domestic inventions, and this would result in countries that compete economically with the U.S., such as China, not being able to produce those invented products. Baldwin says the main goal is to just get people to invest in America.
This bill would say if our tax dollars are leading to some groundbreaking innovation, then we're going to produce that innovation here in the United States of America.
Current law requires federally funded inventions to be manufactured in the U.S., but that requirement is often waived, allowing competing companies in foreign countries to benefit and profit. The Invent Here, Make Here Act recently passed the Senate. It now heads to the House of Representatives. And La Crosse saw some very windy conditions this morning that moved well into the evening. The region's been under a wind advisory from the National Weather Service since 11 a.m. 40-mile-per-hour gusts expected throughout the evening. Monroe County even saw a snow squall warning. I don't even really know what that is, but that was this afternoon with little bursts of snow. And the person who knows what a squall is Callie O'Brien. She joins us now. How, Callie?
Yeah, Heather, that wind advisory is looking to stay in effect until around midnight tonight. Tomorrow, those winds will calm down a bit, but will still be a little bit breezy. Winds from the north-northwest, anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. It's out there right now. However, we're feeling much cooler than that, right around -6. We'll be feeling much cooler than that as we hit our overnight low early tomorrow morning. So very cold overnight for us. Throughout our overnight, you can expect cloudy skies overhead, waking up tomorrow morning to partly cloudy skies. We should see a good amount of sunshine for tomorrow. I'll have more details up soon in your full forecast.
Thanks, Callie. For 20 seasons and counting, there have been two constants for Viterbo volleyball: winning and having head coach Ryan DeLong patrolling the bench. News 19's Colton Emsweiler caught up with him as the V-Hawks prepare for nationals to reflect on his time in charge of the program.
Coach, 2 decades now leading the V-Hawks. Just what does that mean to you?
It's exciting. You know, this program is family to us. It's family to my wife and my kids, and it's just something that started 20 years ago and has just grown into something bigger than I could have ever imagined.
And just how can having one coach for so long benefit a program like this?
I don't know. I have to ask my players. Sometimes maybe it's a benefit. No, it's just establishing a culture, right? You know, we've established a culture. The players have bought in. Our assistants have bought in. And, you know, we do things the way we do them. Sometimes it's maybe a little different than other programs, but it's been special.
Obviously, it's not an easy job, but you kind of do make it look easy at times. What's your favorite part about being a coach?
Loving the girls, coaching the girls. You know, our job, I always tell our girls, is to love them, and their job is to love each other. And that's my favorite part, along with, you know, just them, being with them as my family grew, as my boys grew, as Carrie and I grew in our life. It's been very special to have an extended family along the ride of life.
In other news, we have an update regarding the staff member in Boscobel that's being charged for hitting a disabled student. Victoria Nahas is charged with 1 count of physical abuse of and also camera footage. Nahas inserted herself into the mix of an altercation with 2 staff members and a student. This event happened on November 5th. Well, 19 News was informed that the Boscobel Area School Board accepted her resignation at their regular board meeting on November 11th. It's been more than a year since Cameron police officer Hunter Scheel and Chetek police officer Emily Breidenbach made the ultimate sacrifice. Despite the cold weather, dozens of friends, family, and officers of Cameron Police and other county law enforcement, they came together to the Village Hall to see the unveiling of the memorial for the fallen officer. The permanent memorial not only shows his service to the police force, but his deployment in the National Guard. And in Chetek, on the 1-year anniversary, this year, this memorial was unveiled for Officer Emily Breidenbach. It's right outside the Chetek Police Department. A new hospital is coming to the Chippewa Valley, and it will be in Lake Hallie. Now, the newly formed Chippewa Valley Health Cooperative announced the location for this new hospital is right off Highway 53. And the plan is to build a full-service, nonprofit, and independent hospital that will be run by a local board.
Our headquarters are going to be here. We can be responsive to not only the patients, but the physicians who are part of the community.
Now, the plans include 48 hospital beds, an emergency department, intensive care unit, labor and delivery, a cancer center, and also some surgery and diagnostic services as well. 410 people could be employed there. Now, the plan is to break ground in the spring and then open in the fall of 2027. A generous grant is providing some extra reading material for a North Side school. This morning, some students were surprised to receive book collections made possible through the La Crosse Public Education Foundation. Now, while the classroom uses plenty of current technology, having some new books received a good response.
Technology certainly has its place, and we need to train our students for the ways of the future. But at the end of the day, the physical reading in a book really is engaging for a lot of our students. And we're thankful to be able to have these resources here in our classrooms to provide that engaging activity for students.
One grant in the amount of $51,000 will allow all kindergarten through 2nd grade classrooms to receive full sets of books, and an additional grant of $37,000 will allow 20 teachers for grades 3rd through 5th to receive additional literacy training. Every year, staff members from UW-La Crosse donate handmade wooden toys to the Family and Children's Center. That tradition continued this afternoon. 40 kids taking part in the program at the Family and Children's Center will have something fun to open. It's all part of a holiday giving effort. Now, each bag has a variety of things inside, including the handmade wooden toys. Renee Redman, a professor at UWL, says this is a great way to bring meaning to the holiday season.
It's why we do it. It's what brings joy to this season. It's all about giving this time of year, and the more we can give, the better the season is for all of us.
This contribution comes as the Family and Children's Center will hold an open house, that's tomorrow, showcasing their new headquarters. The largest gift-giving holiday is just around the corner, and while it's an exciting time for most, for many area families, it's a struggle to buy gifts. News 19's Crystal Flintrop explains how the Winona community is pitching in to help alleviate that stress.
Alicia Lockwood has been supported by the community for many years, whether it was the Make-A-Wish Foundation, Habitat for Humanity, or just a shoulder to lean on. And so she wanted to find a way to give back to this community. So in 2017, she created the Winona's Angels and Beyond community Facebook page. And the purpose of the page is to connect community members who have a little extra love to share with families who need some holiday help. In the Facebook page, each fall, Lockwood will make a post about the individuals or families that are looking to be sponsored. Then community members are able to sponsor as many people as they want.
We've been strong believers of always giving back and paying things forward. And it brings tears to my eyes when I think of people struggling. And if this is just the simple way to add a smile to a person's face, whether it's young or old, I'm all for it.
Joey is one of the many that are helping this year, and she and her family are sponsoring 7 families and 11 people from a nursing home. Now, Lockwood says last year they were able to sponsor over 500 people, and this year she has a list of 180 people looking for holiday help.
Every year, it's literally like everybody's been sponsored. I don't even have the words to say thank you. You know, I always say that, how do you say that? I mean, they're helping so many people.
Lockwood does tell me they are still in need of about 50 more sponsors this year. And with Christmas only a few weeks away, she hopes to make this holiday special for everyone that has reached out to her this year. And it's not just kids that are being sponsored. Lockwood's philosophy is that everyone deserves a gift for Christmas, even adults.
That's right. All right. Thank you, Crystal. Anyone can sponsor a family. If you want to learn more, check out Winona's Angels and Beyond Facebook page. And there you can see a list of some families who could use your help. We're not the only ones trying to stay warm. This video is from near Tampa. The high there today is 64, but manatees need their habitat to be at or above 68 degrees. So as the weather gets colder, the animals move from open Gulf waters into shallow inland waterways. And they do it, of course, by sticking together. Still ahead, hearts are broken for those who knew the late CEO of United Healthcare, who was shot and killed today. We hear from his wife on the tragic loss. Plus, a shooting at a California elementary school leaves 2 students injured. We'll have those stories and more coming up.
Hello to all of you in Madison, La Crosse, Eau Claire, and Wausau as we take a live look over Wisconsin. It is windy and cold out there, and it's only going to get worse. Thank you for joining us. I'm Amber Noggle.
And I am Brandon Taylor. Now, we are learning more tonight. We are hearing from the widow of Brian Thompson, the CEO of Minnesota-based United Healthcare, who was shot and killed in New York City this morning.
Investigators believe it was a targeted attack. Police say a masked gunman was waiting for Thompson, shot him from about 20 feet away, and then got away on a bike. So far, they haven't been able to find the shooter. Thompson was in town for a United Healthcare conference. Tonight, his wife reflected on what kind of man he was.
Brian was a wonderful person with a big heart and who lived life to the fullest. He will be greatly missed by everybody. Our hearts are broken and we are completely devastated by this news. He touched so many lives.
United Healthcare is based in Minnetonka, Minnesota, just outside of Minneapolis. The company lowered its flags to half staff today. It also released a statement on Thompson's death. The statement says, in part, we are deeply saddened and shocked at the passing of our dear friend and colleague, Brian Thompson, the CEO of United Healthcare. Brian was a highly respected colleague and friend to all who worked with him. Minnesota Governor Tim Walz said he knew Thompson. He sent his deepest condolences to Thompson's family and called it a horrible tragedy.
Sending our thoughts to the family, our thoughts to the United Healthcare family that's out there, and then our state law enforcement and BCA are providing whatever they can do if there's a part to be able to be helpful in that. They've already been contacted. I know they're working with their federal partners, but yeah, tragic situation.
Thompson had been the CEO of United Healthcare since April of 2021. According to our Minneapolis affiliate, he was 50 years old.
A shooting at a California elementary school left 2 students injured and the suspected shooter dead. The shooting happened this afternoon at a school in Butte County. Deputies arrived to find a man believed to be the shooter dead from a self-inflicted gunshot wound. 2 students were shot, but their injuries are currently unknown. The Butte County Sheriff says they do not believe the shooter had any connection to the school.
Right now, rescuers in Pennsylvania are racing against time and worsening conditions to find missing 64-year-old Elizabeth Pollard. They fear she may have tumbled down a sinkhole while out looking for her cat on Monday. Officials believe the 30-foot hole is survivable with plenty of air ventilation. Video and audio equipment hasn't picked up any activity in the hole, but they did see a shoe that's keeping many optimistic.
A Russian national who stowed away on a flight to Paris last week is now in U.S. custody. Svetlana Dali was escorted back by French security officials this evening. The TSA confirmed that Dali bypassed ID checks and boarded a Delta flight using a lane reserved for flight crews during the busy pre-Thanksgiving travel rush. She faces a number of charges which could result in a 5-year prison sentence.
New tonight, there were tense moments for passengers on board a flight out of New Jersey. The flight left the airport in Newark and was headed for Detroit. It quickly had to return after the Federal Aviation Administration says the crew reported the smell of smoke in the cockpit. Once they were back on the ground, staff deployed emergency chutes so passengers could get off quickly. The cause of the issue is still under investigation.
Now, your 19 Storm Track weather forecast.
Welcome back. We'll get right into our overnight forecast here for the La Crosse area. Will be much cooler than what we were at just last night. Overnight lows in the single digits. However, with these winds from the northwest that we've been experiencing throughout our day and we'll continue to experience throughout our evening and overnight, wind chill values closer to around -6, could even get into negative double digits. We'll be under a mostly cloudy sky throughout the rest of our evening and overnight into tomorrow's forecast. Forecasted high right around 22. However, winds will be keeping up from the northwest anywhere from 10 to 20. So chances are we'll be feeling closer to the teens, but we will, however, be under a mostly sunny sky. Moving back onto those winds, continuing throughout our evening and overnight from the northwest, anywhere from 10 to 30 throughout the rest of our overnight into tomorrow's forecast. We'll slowly see those winds calming down, not by too much. We'll still be breezy for tomorrow, but not near as windy as what we saw for today. For tomorrow, you can expect winds from the northwest anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. Moving on to our current temperatures right now, very chilly outside. Those winds really not helping with that. We're at 12 degrees for La Crosse, but as we just saw, we're feeling in the negatives. 12 degrees for Winona as well. 9 in Viroqua, 11 degrees in Lansing, 10 for Decorah. We're all in these double digits, but again, feeling in the negatives due to those wind chills. Temperatures for the rest of our extended forecast, we're continuing to be a little bit below our average of 37 for this time of year, but we are going to see a little bit of a weekend warm up. For tomorrow, we'll be at 22. However, we're probably going to feel a little bit cooler than that. Friday, we'll work our way up to the 30s. Saturday, 10 degrees warmer. Sunday, looking to be pretty nice. Definitely going to feel a little bit of a relief compared to what we have been. We'll be at 47 degrees, and we may even be nearing the 50s because we'll be seeing a good amount of sunshine as well. Moving on to satellite and radar here. Most of our snow chances have since decreased. We're going to be picking up quite a bit of cloud cover as we get further through our evening and overnight, making our way into Thursday morning. We'll start our day with mostly cloudy skies overhead, decreasing as the day goes on. So we should be seeing a good amount of sunshine for our afternoon, early evening hours. Into Friday morning, we'll start our day with partly cloudy skies overhead. That's looking to be the case for the majority of our Friday. Into our 7-day forecast, again, breezy conditions for tomorrow, but again, nothing compared to what we had for today. Friday's forecast right around 30. We'll be at 40 for Saturday. Looking to stay dry through our weekend. We are seeing just slight chances for some snow on Sunday night. 47 degrees. More than likely would be rain if we do see that precipitation on Sunday. Monday, 40 degrees. We'll be at 28 on Tuesday, 26 for Wednesday.
We've got you covered. And now, sports.
Ethan Stendel is joining a long list of Caledonia football players assigning their letters of intent to play scholarship on scholarship in college. Stendel signed to play with the Minnesota Gophers today. He's expected to play linebacker for the Gophers. At 6'3", 215, Stendel is a star quarterback for the Warriors. He threw for over 1,400 yards and 12 touchdown passes to go with 10 more on the ground this past season. Stendel is also named the Three Rivers Conference Defensive Player of the Year as a linebacker. Meanwhile, Badger fans need something positive to cling on to. Maybe this latest recruiting class can help. Wisconsin's 2025 class ranks 19th in the country, according to Rivals. They signed 24 players, and that includes 10 four-star recruits. One of them is highly touted quarterback Carter Smith from Fort Myers, Florida, who flipped from his commitment from Michigan to Wisconsin last week. That's back-to-back top 25 ranked recruiting classes for Luke Fickell, perhaps a sign the program is turning in a positive direction.
I'm not saying it's an immediate, right? I mean, if you're really counting on a ton of freshmen, it's not going to be the easiest thing in the world. But I do think that where we're headed in college, like, it's almost closer towards the NFL. Like, you're going to have to rely upon these guys, and that's why it's great that 16 of them are coming in early, because when spring ball starts, they're going to have to be put in a position to earn opportunities to play.
Well, the Packers will be without Jair Alexander again tomorrow night, as well as receiver Romeo Dobbs. The Lions also down some key players, including a top offensive tackle and 3 defensive linemen. Matt LaFleur won his first 5 games against the Lions, but has lost 5 of the last 6. The Lions rank number 1 in the league in scoring offense, number 3 in scoring defense. Perhaps their one statistical weakness is a 25th ranking in pass defense, but that's often a byproduct of other teams getting garbage yards and comeback attempts. And LaFleur doesn't see any weaknesses there. Detroit has 14 interceptions on the year.
Yeah, well, they compete, they challenge, they play a ton of man coverage, and they got good players. So I think they do a great job. They get a ton of man beaters. They do a great job with it. But I just think they make it hard on you. They contest everything. And if you make an errant throw, they'll make you pay, because all those guys in the back end have great ball skills.
NBA, the Bucks trying to win their 8th in a row after their dreadful start hosting Atlanta tonight. Bucks down 20 in the third quarter, but they get it going from 3-point range. A.J. Green, part of a 12-0 run to cut the lead down to 8. Fourth quarter now, it's a 10-point Hawks lead. Damian Lillard, almost a logo 3. The Bucks down 7, but cold shooting down the stretch held them back. Trae Young taking advantage, and the Hawks hang on. 119-104 Bucks. Their winning streak is over. And what a comeback win for the UWL men tonight. 99-97 over Bethany Lutheran. The Eagles trailed by as many as 25 points. Dustin DeRusso and Sam Grieger with 27 points each. And stay with us. We'll be right back.
So it's going to be bitter out there.
Yeah, it is not fun. It's very windy, which wind chill values were into the negatives throughout the entire overnight, may even get into negative double digits. So very blustery winds. If you don't have to go outside, I certainly wouldn't, because it is no fun. Those chances for some stray flakes have since decreased. We should stay dry throughout the rest of our evening and overnight. We'll be under mostly cloudy skies for tomorrow's forecast. We'll see a lot more sunshine compared to what we had for today. It'll still be a little bit breezy, but not near compared to what we had for today.
That was a nice story on the V-Hawks.
Yeah, and they start tournament play tomorrow in Sioux City, Iowa, the NAIA Championships. We'll have a score for you tomorrow as well. Packers in action, second straight Thursday night. I wish they would play Sundays, to be quite frankly.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. All right, well.
But here we go, another Thursday night.
Stay warm, everybody, and thanks for joining us. Good night.